Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it was suggested or recommended that I do a wing tutorial. I've done a lot of fairies and angels and things like that. I'm not a professional by any means, but I will show you how I do my translucent fairy wings and how I've done a couple in the past. For those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, I will put in a couple of examples here so you can see the difference. With fairy wings, you can make them any color. It really is whatever you want to do, whatever background you want to do, whatever, if you want to have them multicolored or just prismatic, or, you can make them different colors. You could make one color and one another color. You could make them multicolored. You could make them see-through. You could also make them just a solid color. You don't have to make them translucent. So I will show you guys a couple of examples. Like this one, for instance, I did the wings, the color of the background, and you can see on the left side here there's actually a tree, and that tree would cast a shadow through the wing because the wings are translucent. So I just used a lighter gray just to kind of outline and put that shadow of the tree through the wings, and then I traced them out with a white gel pen. And then on the right side, you can see that the darker sky shows through the wing as well. So the sky changes, that's reflected through the wing. Whatever happens behind the wing is going to be reflected through the wing. The change of sky color, reflections of trees, and things like that. And again, you could make them a specific color. If you notice the little lady with the purple hair, I made her solid pink, and outlined them with the white gel pen. So on this one, you can see I did the same thing. On the left one, I did the background of the sky where it changes, but it is lighter because I'm seeing the through the fairy wings. In my mind, if a fairy was in a white room with white walls, you wouldn't be able to see the wings really, maybe only the shadow of the outline of the wings. So whatever is in the background is going to be just a little bit lighter. On the right one, you can see I did the same thing. I did the sky, and then on the end here, I did the wreath. You would see the wreath outline through the wing, and the green of the wreath wouldn't be as dark because I'm seeing it through the fairy wing. And then on this one, I did just their own color. I wanted them to have their own color. And if you can see the red, that is actually like where the veins or the blood supply would be, just like a bird. If fairies were real, they would have a blood supply in my mind, okay? I would think that they would have a blood supply of some sort, so I would be able to see that, on this one specifically. Maybe not all of them, but on this one I totally did. Okay, and so on this one, I did the fairy wings the same color as the shirt. I didn't make them transparent or translucent. I didn't outline them. I didn't make them multicolored. This day, I was just feeling it this way. The colors, kind of led me in this direction, and it really is your preference, whatever your vision is for that specific picture. There's definitely no right or wrong way. In this video, I will show you how I make my translucent fairy wings. This is not for sure the one and only right way. People do theirs differently. That works for them. This just happens to work for me, and maybe it will, help or work for one of you guys. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is the picture that I'm working on now. I went ahead and did the background, and I'm going to be using the same colors where those darker shadows and bends and curves of the wings are. To me, that would be like the layers. But the rest of the wing, I'm going to make a little bit lighter because to me, I'm seeing that sky through the wing, so it won't be as dark. I hope that makes sense. And if there was a sun or a moon in the background, that would be reflected through the wing as well. If it was directly behind this subject, the colors would be golden yellow, for the moon, or a cool gray blue, whatever I decided. And the shadows would be, or the shading would be in that circular or half circular pattern, whatever it may be, whatever it was that you chose to make it. If it was in a distance and the sun rays were coming through, they would be lighter, in that section or whatever. But in this case, there's nothing behind the wing here, so it's just the sky colors showing through the wings. Okay, so this pink is going to be at the bottom where the pink is in the sky back there, but only in this little shaded, shadowy part, you know, where I consider it like a layer of the wing, but you may, you know, use another term. And I do like that about this book. Chris Lopez did a really good job, especially for new colorists. If you're not sure about shadows and things like that, shading, she actually illustrates it very nicely in these pictures of this book. So I'm going to go ahead and color, kind of speed through the coloring part to save time. And if we need to, we'll stop, you know, and address whatever comes up, I suppose. And then this darkest purple, the 25, will be the very tips here in those little shadows. And then the 26, which is the medium purple in the sky, will be the very middle shadows and layers of those wings where that shading would be. Okay, so this is the colors that I did the sky, and I also did the shadows and shading for the wings. Now I'm going to use these three colors to actually fill in the wing colors of the sky through the wings, because they're not the bends or the curves of the wings. They're just the, you know, the flat kind of translucent wing part. So I'm going to use that medium purple 27 for the top, and then I'm going to use a lighter purple, the lightest, for the middle where it transitions from the darker purple to the pink, and then a more muted pink for that bottom shade. So once I do the, initial layers of the wing color themselves, I will go back in with those darkest shades and kind of refill in those shadows. Okay, so there's the top part done, and this lower part is going to be a little bit darker because I have that mountain or that land behind, and then I have her dress and things. So this one will be a little bit darker than it would be if it were like the top wing with nothing in the front, or beside it, to make it a little darker with shadows and things like that. So I'm kind of using the same general colors but making it a little darker. And then in this corner here, you'll notice that I did a darker brown here. And that is because I will still have the color of the mountains or the land behind her, so it will be reflected through the wing. But right there, there's a little flower, or a flower behind that little section of that lower wing. So I did make that a little darker brown because in my mind that would be shadowed a little bit more because that flower is behind it. So I did that. Okay, so I went ahead and finished my bird here because I didn't want that to interfere with me, you know, coming back, and I'm working on the flowers now. But so the wings are done, and you could leave it just like this as is with the black outline. That would be, you know, that's great. I like to trace mine or outline mine with this. This is just a little Jelly Roll gel pen. You could use a Uni Posca marker in white, black, silver, gold, purple, pink. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but I'm just going to outline mine. So I'm going to stop here. Like in that first picture, you could outline all the lines inside the wings as well, but I'm just going to stop here, and I'm going to add just a couple little dots around the wings to make it look like magical fairy dust or whatever. You could add little swirls, or you could add little lines, you know, to represent movement of the wings, or, you know, just whatever you'd like, but that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, so there is my fairy. I hope the people who asked or suggested this found this helpful. I hope this helps you guys as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.